Hi, my name is Imogen. Sorry this is a bit late, but this is going to be my March wrap up. I haven't had time to film it and I've just been busy working and doing uni in the first couple days of March, but yeah, I'm going to be doing it for you right now. So I read 25 books in March, which I know is a bit insane. I was trying to read 31 and I did do a reading vlog and I somehow deleted all the footage. I don't know how, but anyway, the point is that I was going to do a reading vlog and that was going to kind of serve as my wrap up, but it's gone. It's gone from the ether. So yeah, so I'm just going to get straight into it with the books that I don't have with me today. So yeah, and I don't really do star ratings if you're new here. I just kind of say what my thoughts were and if I really enjoyed it, but I feel like giving however many stars is a bit like, it's so subjective and I don't want anyone to not read something just because I didn't like it. So not that I think that highly of myself. Anyway, yeah, this is just going to be all the books. So The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn. That was, oh my god, The Viscount Who Loved Me was so good. I hadn't read a Bridgerton book before, but I wanted to read it before the second season of Bridgerton came out. And that was just fantastic. I really enjoyed the book. I actually enjoyed the show more, but if we're just talking about the book, I really enjoyed it. I loved Kate and Anthony. I loved everything about it. I did think that the, spoiler alert, the forced marriage was a little bit like, I was like, oh, this is just the same as the first one. Or the first season of Bridgerton, because I only watched the show. But I did really enjoy it and I'd really recommend it. It's definitely 18 plus, but it was very enjoyable. It was very fun. It was really quick. I think I read it in like 3 hours because it was very short and it was a really quick read. So yeah, definitely recommend. Something to talk about. Something to talk about was just fantastic. It was really good. It was really fun. There were a couple things that I was like, oh, you know, basically it's a sapphic novel about a really famous woman, actress, and her like assistant. So there's that kind of weird power dynamic. So some people don't like that, some people do. And it's not a problematic display of that power dynamic. I feel like I'm kind of not really in the center. Should I bring you a bit closer? Is that better? Okay, I think that's better. Anyway, but yeah, I think it was really well done. I don't think it was problematic because you can always find books that are sapphic or have LGBT characters can always sometimes end up being a bit problematic with their, I've said problematic like 1,500 times, with their representation of LGBT characters. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it, again, 18 plus. Convenience Store Woman. Oh my god, I listened to the audiobook of Convenience Store Woman and it was just fucking fantastic. It was literally like a roller coaster start to finish. I really enjoyed it. It was giving Unhinged. It was giving, I just liked everything about it. And the audiobook was such an experience. I definitely recommend the audiobook if you're not sure about reading the physical book. It was really short, it was really easy, and it was just crazy, super fun, unhinged vibes. Anatomy, a Love Story. So Anatomy, a Love Story is a YA novel about a girl in the 1800s who's learning to be a surgeon, but she's like not able to be a surgeon because she's a woman, and a boy who is a grave digger / grave robber. So he gets paid to steal bodies out of graves. And then there's this weird like underlying fantasy element of this mystery that's happening where they live. It was really sweet. It was really fun. One of my coworkers recommended it to me and she really enjoyed it and I really enjoyed it, so thank you, Lexi. But yeah, it was really fun and I definitely recommend it. It's good YA, but like probably older YA because there is a bit of like gore because they like talk about like surgery and like fucking disconnecting capillaries or whatever. So yeah, but it was fun and I recommend it. And yeah, Hook, Line and Sinker. Right, so Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I've already given this book away. Usually I would hold on to a book for like a couple months to see if I'm going to try and read it again. I know I'm not going to read that again. I really didn't enjoy it at all. If I was going to give it a rating, I would probably give it like a 3. It was just really disappointing. And I know that a lot of people really enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, that doesn't take away, like you are allowed to enjoy it. Just for me personally, there were a couple of things about the story, the way that the story was formed, the characters that I didn't overall enjoy it at all. And I really have loved other Tessa Bailey that I've read, so I don't know what happened with this one, but yeah, I just really didn't enjoy it at all. So yeah, that's that. And last one that I don't have with me is My Sister the Serial Killer. This is literally, I think, one of the best books I've read ever. It was, again, such a journey. I listened to it on the audiobook again and it was just fucking fantastic, and I want to buy the book and read it in person now because I think it'll be such a different experience. But it was just so fucking fantastic. Everything about it was spectacular. I loved every second of it. I was like on the bus like, oh my god, like with my audiobook. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. 18 plus again, because it's again a bit of gore because her sister's a serial killer. And yeah, it was just amazing. Loved it. 10 out of 10. I mean, no ratings, but 10 out of 10. All right. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. This was really good as well. I read a lot of really good books this month. This is a fantasy novel about a place in history and time where these king's soldiers have to go to towns, woodsmen have to go to towns and find these like seer girls and take them to the king. And so basically our main character Evike, she is taken by the woodsman and then chaos ensues. And oh my god, it's just fantastic. It's just so good. You have to read it. It's a adult fantasy. There is spice, but there's also excellent world building, excellent drama, excellent action, and it's a standalone, and it's like not even that long, and it felt like it could have been 1,000 pages. The writing was so beautiful. Everything about this book I loved, and yeah, definitely recommend. And I'm gonna read it again, and I don't often reread fantasy books, but I'm gonna read this one again for sure. Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe. For Before the Coffee Gets Cold, the first one, I haven't read it, but I got this one for Christmas, and I don't think you have to read it to read this. Like, I don't think you have to read the first one to read this one, but this was so fucking beautiful. It made me cry. It was so beautiful and so sad and so devastating. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something to very short literary fiction that's gonna make you cry. It was so sad. The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams. This was really fun little romance. Emily Henry is the like recommender on the front of the cover here, so I was like, I have to buy this. It was really fun. And our main character Britta is a woman of color, and she's fat, and she's fucking like so fun. There is a trigger warning here for ED, and because it's about like working out, like it's about this workout app, but it's not about the main character losing weight, if that makes sense. Like, she's fat and she's happy being fat, and she's healthy, and it's not about her journey on becoming skinny, if that makes sense. Like but it is about a workout app, and there is mentions of eating disorders and drug use by a family member. So yeah, it was really fun though. It was really sad, but excellent. It was kind of long, and I really enjoyed it. Paris is always a good idea. Paris is always a good idea. It was so fun. It was a really quick little romance. It was a slow burn, but it was a quick read is what I mean. I definitely recommend it. I really enjoyed it. There's not much to say about this, honestly. It was quite fun. Like, I haven't read any of her other stuff. Apparently her other stuff's not as good. But I really enjoyed this, and I don't know if I'll read it again just because the concept didn't stand out too much to me, but pardon me, I might sell it on my Depop, in which case I would encourage you to buy it because it is really, like, it's really fun. So yeah, and I love European, like, adventures. I love them being like, we're at the Seine, and I'm like, slay. The Charm Offensive. I read The Charm Offensive for my book club. The link is in my link tree, and oh my god, it was just so cute. I loved it so much. There were a couple things where I was like, oop, again, but yeah, it was a story about a guy who goes on like basically The Bachelor, and then the producer, and they fall in love over the course of the book, but like he's supposed to be in love with a woman on The Bachelor. And there's like that kind of drama, and like there's weird producers, and there's a lot of drama. Like, it's a very drama filled book, but not between these two, if that makes sense. Like, all the other characters have drama. Anyway, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There was a couple things where I was like, oh, we're definitely infantilizing this main character here, because he does have OCD, and there were a couple moments, especially in the beginning, where I was like, ooh, that kind of made me feel a little bit icky. But apart from that, it recovered well. So yeah, if I was going to give it a rating, I know I'm not doing ratings, but if I was going to give it a rating because people like, makes people understand it a little bit better, I would probably give it like a 3.75 or a 4. Not because it was bad, but because of those things. They like took the points off for me, but apart from the rest of the book, I really enjoyed. But those things you can't like overlook. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. This was like, I'm definitely gonna read this again. This was amazing. I love anything John Green writes. I literally would read his grocery lists. I find it really enjoyable. Everything he writes is just fantastic, and yeah, I would really recommend this. And it's just a collection of essays about like 2020 onwards, about like pandemics, but also it's just stupid stuff. Like there's one about the Penguins of Madagascar movie, there's one about Mario Kart, there's one about the largest ball of paint in the world. So yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Looking for Alaska by John Green. I mean, this is the original Manic Pixie Dream Girl vibe. This was really fun. It was really cute, but like also terrible and so 2006. It was giving 2006 hardcore 2006 vibes. I was reading this when, if you follow me on TikTok, a guy asked me for my number, and then he turned out to be, no, I'm not gonna put that on the internet actually. Anyway, yeah, original Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Some problematic stuff happens, but John Green, very like, reading his first book and then reading his most recent book, it's really amazing to see like how much he's grown as an author and a person. And I really appreciate that kind of feeling when you read a book like this, because I personally really like John Green and his writing. So yeah, I really enjoyed reading this. That being said, it's a bit like, what the fuck? Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I hadn't read this one. This is the only one I hadn't read apart from Anthropocene Reviewed before, and I really enjoyed both of them. And this was an excellent book. There was a murder mystery, there was friendship, there was love, there was everything. The main character, Aza, she has OCD, so there's a lot of stuff about her OCD, so if that might be triggering to you, then do not engage. But yeah, it was really enjoyable, it was really sweet, it was really fun. I'm definitely gonna read it again. As I said, I would literally read John Green's like grocery list. I would read anything he wrote. So I really enjoyed it. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I had given this a go before, but it was unsuccessful, and I'm glad I gave it a second go. I really enjoyed it. It was literally the slowest of slow burns. I think it was like chapter 35 before they even like thought they may be in love with each other, which was just kind of a slay, but also yeah, it was a lot. But I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend it if you like classics. It's kind of short, but yeah, a lot happened, and it's Pride and Prejudice, everyone knows. Electric Idol. This was not my favorite. I really preferred Neon Gods. I thought that this was like had no plot. Like everything about the plot, I was waiting for something to happen, and then nothing would happen, and they would build up and build up and build up, and then there was just nothing. And I was like, okay, but like, I know you're not supposed to read these with a plot, but like I was waiting for the plot and there was no plot. Anyway, I enjoyed the bias aspects of it. My parents are, so it's like a bell or keys if they can hear me say that. But yeah, I thought it was disappointing. I'm gonna sell it on my Depop, so stay tuned, because I no longer want to. Oh my god, I feel really weird like having Amy talk about it, so I'm getting embarrassed. The spice was really good, but like, this is like ASMR. The spice was really good, but the characters were insufferable, and it didn't make up for it. So if I was gonna give it a rating, I would give it like a 3. I'm sorry, I like Neon Gods better. League of Liars. It was yeah, pitched to me like Six of Crows meets Law and Order. It was definitely that kind of vibe with the group aspect of Six of Crows and the dual point of view, but it wasn't the same kind of vibe as Six of Crows. It's about like law and justice systems, and the story in the world is really unique, but it does kind of fall flat in some aspects, and it was definitely just a build up for a sequel. But that being said, I did enjoy the ride. I enjoyed every part of this. So yeah. Okay, Fleabag, The Scriptures. This was sent to me by someone on my Amazon wishlist, and I don't know who still, so if that was you, please take credit. I mean, I read this, I blasted through it because I've already seen, obviously, I've seen the Fleabag TV show, and I really enjoyed the Fleabag TV show, so I was really excited to read this, and I loved it. And it's exactly the same, it's just the script from the show. But yeah, it was really good. And if you've read the show, I mean, if you watch the show, you should read this, because it's just like another level of like, and I love Fleabag. She's a great character, and I love Pop Priest. And I love Claire. I think Claire's a really good character. And I recently watched Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Crashing. And that was good, but it wasn't as good as this. It wasn't as good as this. Anyway, yeah, this is a slay out of slay. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I mean, this is like basically a classic now. This was also a journey. It's very long. My copy's quite old. Yeah, I just feel like Amy Dunn is everything that everyone should strive for ever. She's fantastic. I've seen the movie of this like 500 times, so I knew the plot, but the the book is actually better, I think. I think that I really enjoyed the book, and I especially enjoyed that we see a lot of what happens after Amy comes home. Spoiler alert, she comes home. And I really enjoyed that kind of, that they're both really insane and crazy, and anyway, it was really enjoyable. It's got girls, it's you know, she's a cool girl. Yeah, I really liked it, and I really liked the way that the whole like Amy being insane and planning the murder thing was approached from the book's point of view, and less like, I prefer the way they do it in the book and to the movie. This is definitely not suitable for younger readers. It's very gory and a lot happens. Miss Besh in Manhattan was really sweet. I love New York based books. I try and read as many as I can. I eat them up. It was really fun. It was a little bit on the slower side, but I didn't mind that. You should read this if you're looking for something that is just kind of an easy and like no stress read. Some of the characters are a little bit like annoying, and there's a little bit of miscommunication, which I don't love usually, but yeah, it was enjoyable. It was sweet, it was cute. I would read it again. I'm not selling on my Depop, so you can't get your hands on this one. You'll have to buy it firsthand. Paybacks a Witch. This was a really cute one. I read this because I couldn't buy it for a long time, and then I ended up buying it in January, just after I read the X-Hex, and those two get compared a lot, but this is Sapphic. It was enjoyable, but there was quite a few times where I was like, I don't want to read this book anymore, and I just like put it down. So it probably took me like the entire month to read. It wasn't necessarily bad or anything, but it just didn't give what needed to be gave in a lot of aspects. But I liked the romance. I liked I've forgotten the main characters already. I thought they were cute, but yeah, I just was like, this could have been so much better. Could have been longer as well. Assembly was literally insane. I'll show you a page so you know what I'm talking about. It looks like this. It looks kind of almost like it's poetry, but it's like short stories about this woman's life, and they're all leading up to her going to a garden party at her boyfriend's house, and it was like literally insane, and everything about this book was insane. And this is definitely in that unhinged woman category, but also like not even that she was unhinged, but her life was unhinged. Just a lot about it was like, I was like, oh my god. Every page I was like, what the fuck. And it's really short, it's like 100 pages, but it was really good. And yeah, I was like really, I mean, you can see by how I'm reacting to it, it was really a lot, but I would definitely read it again, and I'm definitely gonna recommend it heaps because it's really crazy, but it was really good. Little Women and Good Wives, because this book is both of them in one, so I'm counting it as two. I mean, this is definitely my favorite classics from Mal. I have this beautiful copy of it, which is the one that they do in the movie. I've never even seen the movie, but I'm glad now I can watch the movie because I've read the book. It was really sweet. I love Jo. I just want to give her a hug every 10 seconds. Amy was annoying. And when Beth died, I was literally like, what the fuck? I knew she was going to, because I knew. But yeah, anyway, it's Little Women. What else can you really say about it? It was definitely the fastest classic I've ever read. I read it really fast. And usually I find classics a little bit harder to read just because of the language and the way that they like speak because it's written so long ago. Yeah, it was really, really good. A lot of people haven't read Good Wives, which I thought was like a natural continuation of the story. I thought they were all Little Women and Good Wives, but they're not. So you should definitely read Good Wives if you read Little Women. If you've read both, then we should talk about it because I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be buying, I think I'm going to buy a paperback of this so I can tab it, because this is so gorgeous, and I decided not to tab it because it's like, it's so gorgeous town. Isn't it just gorgeous town? Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it. If you're looking for like an easy, I mean, it is a children's classic, so that kind of explains it a bit more, but yeah, it was an easy, fun, enjoyable, fast classic. The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. I started reading this in January, and then I put it down, even though I really enjoyed it, and I don't know why, but I didn't finish it. And then I was like, I'll finish it in March because I'm trying to read lots of books. This was really sad. It's like 3 stories in the book. And the first one is really depressing, and the second one's less depressing, but the third one's really depressing again. I tabbed it, as you can see. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna read it again. I'm gonna like recommend it to a lot of people because it was really beautifully written. And Simone de Beauvoir, I mean, probably is problematic because history always shows that they end up being problematic because they lived in the 1920s, but like, yeah, if anyone wants to let me know, tell me. But I definitely recommend it. It's not really an easy book to read. It's not easy lit fic to read, that's for sure. I definitely recommend it if you're kind of already on that journey of like reading famous feminist authors, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like I've said that 500 times already. So yeah. So that was my March wrap up. I'm sorry it's late, but yeah, as I said, I've got a busy life. I've got things to do. I literally say that every YouTube video. I'm like, sorry it's late because I've got a busy life, but I do, okay? Leave me alone. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, I'd really love to know what you thought of them and we can have a chat about it. And I'm gonna try and put some more YouTube videos up in April because I'm not as busy and I don't have such a crazy life. I'm on holidays right now, even though only for a week, but yeah, I'm on due back. Anyway, it was really nice talking to you, and I will hope to chat to you again soon.